The proverb says, the wise man sees danger approaching and prepares for it. The fool passes on and suffers for it. So the wise man has got his eye to the horizon. He's looking to see what's going on. Now, when the proverb was written, there was no telephone, there was no internet, there was no television, there was no radio. There was barely, no, there wasn't even paper. There was vellum. Do you know what vellum is? It's sheepskins, goat skins, where they would write their messages. So, juxtapose that, the wise man sees danger approaching, keeping your eye on the horizon, with proven medical facts that too much news makes a very large portion of the populace anxious. The addiction that we have to our devices, our godless devices as I call them, it's causing severe emotional and in some places health problems, physical health problems because of lack of exercise. Not to mention the breakdown in relationships. So somebody like me, I'll be honest with you, I find myself between a rock and a hard place, as they say. I hate our godless devices. Here's one right here. I'll show you this one. This is my laptop, my godless device. Here is my iPhone, my godless device. These things that buzz and beep and you're sitting at the table and someone's texting. I don't care if anyone is texting. So, because I do a TV show that focuses a lot on news, I have to watch the news. And sometimes I'm sated. I've just had it. I don't want anymore. I don't want to hear it. And so I get it. I get that a lot of my viewers, in fact, watch very little news. If they want the news, they come to a program like mine, maybe a handful of others, and they listen, figure, well, if something's really important, Randall will tell us. And I respect that. I understand it. But some of us need to strike just a whisker better balance, because when the wise man seeing danger approaching would have generally meant that it was in his immediate area, okay? Or that it was some bit of local international news, you know, Israel borders Jordan, and people would have had their ear to the ground. Now we're dealing with the price of crude oil coming out of OPEC. We're dealing with China dumping their goods here to try and devalue our dollar. We're dealing with Russia, who has the largest oil reserves on the planet right now and controls most of the gas, in natural gas that goes to Europe, about 90%. Well, how do all these things impact me? Because so much of our economy is tied to the economies of other countries. Most of our stuff that lines the aisles of Walmart comes from China. So if we get in a trade war with China, we could see the cost of our circuses at least go up. Not our bread, all right? Most of our food supply is still from America, or at least this hemisphere. We do get a lot of fruit and vegetables south of the border, but very little of our food that is needed for sustenance, for our daily bread, very little comes from overseas. Yes, caviar, but anyway. So, all of that to say, there's something crazy going on Wall Street right now. As of the filming of this show, the Dow is down at about 400 points, and gold has jumped about 5% in its value. And this is before noon, okay, on this day. So that signals a sell-off, a significant sell-off, and people moving their money into gold. Well, how does that impact me, Randall? Well, it's very simple. Number one, if you've got money tied up in various investment funds, and we've seen the Dow lose, what is it, almost 2,000 points since the beginning of the year, the end of last year, some astronomical number. Well, that means the net worth of the viewers of this show or other people is going down rapidly. I had a donor, one of the people who actually is a sponsor of this show, call me yesterday. He's on an auto debit with his credit card, And he said, Randall, I'm really sorry. I've lost a fortune on the stock market in the last 2 months, and I can't keep going. I said, no problem, no problem. So we talked for a little bit. So it impacted me. If you work at a store where people use some of what they call expendable income and they don't feel that they have as much income that they can spend, it's going to impact you because people begin to panic. I've got to take a break. When we come back, I want to, don't worry, I'm going to talk about Donald Trump, but I want to give you just a whisker of advice, just a whisker, and I don't sell anything at all that I'm about to advise you on. I have no interest other than your welfare. I'll be right back.